What a fantastic Friday to all of you fabulous folk out there who have finally joined us yet again for another
Hamburgers.
emotionally stirring installment of Disinformed After Dark, aka Hamburger Helper. I'm Shane.
I'm John.
And I'm Michael.
And we'd like to thank all of you supporters of the Kamala.
Yes.
And if you are joining us in light of this week's episode, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was fun, but it was weird. It was good.
It's one of those fun things where you wake up the next morning and you're like, did I really do that?
Yeah, you've done that with one of my wife's friends.
And your girlfriend's told me about many of those with you. So,
oh, that's every time she wakes up. So,
yeah, it's the weird version of Groundhog Day.
I liked watching your eyes die a little bit there.
Sonny and Cher kick on the
that
radio.
That was poggers, man. That was just straight.
Yeah, put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or pogger we can climb.
All right, let's get this out of the way real quick.
Go ahead.
We're in the first 2 minutes here, and this is a children's program.
Yes, is very yes, we're very kid friendly here.
So I will never be able to get this image out of my head, and I could have gone my entire life without seeing this, and I would have been fine.
Disposable underwear?
Oh no! Why?
Man, it gets weirder and grosser the more you look at it.
I just why SpongeBob?
I feel like it's Rule 34. It's like if you ever wondered where SpongeBob's G-spot was.
That is not a question that I wondered. No, I wanted the answer to.
Sponges need love too.
Yeah, don't be
sponge
racist.
Someone was just trying to finger bang their way into his heart.
I like that he doesn't have any organs. You know that like, there's nothing else in there. That's all.
He doesn't need them where he's going.
I mean, how do you feel?
Existentially,
or just, I'm pretty good today.
Yeah. Now, outside of getting Shane's Marvel origin story on how he became the musician and the man,
Dork
and
Devil,
the legend that you see
begins.
I did promise that I would share a final bar story for you guys.
Indeed, you did. But before you dive into that, I will do our usual preface here and introduce ourselves to the masses who may not know who we are. But we are the fine and feathered hosts of the Disinformed podcast, which flees from your preferred provider app every single Monday morning. But this stirring installment is our little decompression period, a video companion cast that airs on the tubes of you here every single wonderful week, where we talk about what occurred on the episode this week and then dive into Chuck Klosterman's insanely entertaining hypotheticals. But in lieu of that, John is going to make good on that promise he made in the episode of telling us a little tale.
Yeah, and I'll try and keep this one shorter and sweeter. There's not a lot to this story, but sometimes there's
a man.
Now, I sent you guys some pictures and had you look at them before we were rolling, but essentially last night we're working and it's slow. Like the holidays are over, and I didn't know that they were over until I started working shifts post holiday, and now there are like my Monday and Tuesday nights aren't like I'm not just getting my ass handed to me. Well, we got really, really busy. It was almost guaranteed every night that I was just going to go ahead.
It would occur to me that it would actually be less busy during the holidays because people are being festive with one another, like indoors in a family environment, not at a, but again, I have forgotten that I don't drink, and the destitute and derelict reprobates out there in the world that, wake up and go to the bar at 10 a.m. do exist, and I just haven't encountered them.
Oh boy.
Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, I was going to say, oh boy, 10 a.m.
Yeah, I think the mental, and I've been on this camp before, is when you're spending so much time around your family during the holidays, you look for any reason to escape or to numb or to, kind of like sidestep stuff. Like if I had to listen to Never mind. Not going to go there.
I was going to say, now I finally have a picture of someone who would eat a strip club steak.
There you go.
Thank you.
I also thought that the weirdness would be kind of gone because I don't work in that weird of an area. It gets rough here and there, but not where I work. But last night, a beautiful human sat down at the bar, and it threw my whole night for a loop, and it made my entire month, honestly. This couple walked in, and the dude was just white bread, wearing a fucking, oh no, I did it. I'm Michael today.
You said ass earlier.
Ass isn't bad. You can get away with ass.
He wanted to say cum slinger, and we were talking about how that wouldn't work.
Well, there at 10 cents we were going to gather on this thing.
Can't be monetized if no one watches.
Yeah.
Hey, we've proven that's not the case, my friend.
Fair enough. Anyway, dude's white bread. He's wearing a polo. He's dressed really sharp. He's like kind of modern, preppy-ish.
So what you're saying is, I'd blow him.
I would watch him get blown.
He would help him come.
Let's just dive down that. Yeah.
Already demonetized.
Snosberry.
But
like uncle.
The woman with him. Nope. The woman with him. With him. The woman that
damn near killed him. You're welcome.
I hope you're not really, really needing that burger tonight, John. It might not happen.
I'm good to starve.
Okay.
The woman that was with him, I assume that they were dating, was a character out of a comic book. Like, looked like she was doing like a half-assed like Harley Quinn cosplay. She had two-tone hair, like the left side of her hair was black and the right side, she looked like Darkness Dimension Raven Way.
I can't unsee it now. Thank you.
So the picture is kind of suspect. I don't want to get into too far like how the picture was taken, because it wasn't me who took the picture, but I was definitely like kind of ranting like, oh my god, like no one's gonna believe that this person was here. And so, like, if someone needs to get a picture without just flat out being like, hey, you look like a freak.
I need photographic evidence of your existence for anthropological purposes.
I really love your Harley Quinn cosplay. Can I take a picture?
So one of my ex-girlfriends wore very thick makeup, and she would wear what she called wings of flight, which I think, and I still think, is the stupidest way to describe your makeup. But just essentially, you take the mascara or the whatever, and you take it out.
Yeah.
You're drawing lines up and out. So this girl though took the Jack Skellington approach, and she wore heavy eyeliner, black mascara, but then also drew lines out from her mouth, and drew the little like lines down to make it look like she was a skeleton. And I'm not making this
Sally.
up.
She's Sally from that movie.
We can live like Jack and Sally if you want. Yeah. Exactly. It just, and black lipstick. And if that wasn't enough, she was wearing a necklace, and I didn't see it at first. But my coworker's like, "Did you see the handcuffs?" I said, "Excuse me." "Did you see the handcuffs?"
Beg pardon?
"Where?" She goes, "She's wearing handcuffs around her neck. Like, part of her necklace is to hold full-size adult handcuffs around her neck." And I'm so
in her neck.
I just one thing after another. It was just like an avalanche of weird Gothland. It's like she is like
she was pulled right out of the mid 2000s.
I was texting this the group chat of it's Becky. It's like the familial unit. It's Becky, her brother's fiance, and my sister, and we kind of all just keep in touch that way. And I was sharing this experience with them. Yeah, essentially, yeah. I mean, what do you do with your family?
We've discussed that on last week's episode. We cannot discuss it here.
So I'm keeping them apprised of everything that's happening, and then her purse is a coffin. Coffin, like it's a coffin shaped purse.
Checks out. Michael, are you okay?
Did you hear that popping noise?
Yes. Are you having an existential crisis? Or
I thought something exploded. A flashlight fell off of the desk behind me and landed.
It's because the woman we're talking about is a witch.
Paranormal activity.
She doesn't like being talked about.
Santeria.
But I sent you the pictures.
Would call black magic.
We're not going to share the pictures because that would be very, very insensitive and consent
illegal. Yeah.
Yes. But also that second picture, if you guys look at it, you can see her ensemble. And Michael, you said it was your favorite thing. Is that like she is wearing like elevator or platform shoes, like with thigh-high socks that are crosses, and then a very Celtic looking skirt.
I see the coffin now.
Yeah. See, that's the upside down coffin
with the cross and everything. Yeah.
But it was huge. That purse was almost like a backpack.
She's also 87.
Excuse me.
I mean, that if she's younger than 43, she's been rode real hard.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna throw that out into the atmosphere.
That's a true statement.
It's a rough living there.
Ooh, it's hard being a goth.
Start by saying,
the 2021.
If my employers ever see this, I love you guys so much. Thank you for a beautiful job. I have a lot of fun there. Secondarily, I ID almost everyone. And I can tell you that she was younger than I am.
Oh man, meth is a hell of a drug.
Whew, it is.
Yeah. So again, because I'm going to probably reference James Cameron every chance that I get on this video podcast. That's what 20 miles of bad road looks like.
Oh, I was about to say, you put her in charge.
Game over, man.
She mostly comes at night. Mostly.
But anyway, so that's the time that I met a witch.
Indeed. Listen, her tooth is beautiful. I was very impressed with it.
But yeah, thanks for letting me say that one. See, that wouldn't have fit at the end of the episode. It wouldn't have been.
Yeah, I know. I agree. We've had a nice fun. The photos illustrate very well for us who are seeing it in a visual medium. But trust me, folks, you're not missing out on much other than the sheer spectacle of it all.
If you are truly that curious, though, you can reach out.
I think
and
because
I'll send them to you.
She fits such a stereotype that you could just look up.
Yeah, what's the stereotype, Michael?
Dark ebony darkness, dementia raven way. I mean, or Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas.
That Sally only existed in Blink-182 songs.
You've hit the same joke twice in the episode. Don't start behaving like me.
This podcast is harder to close than the John Benet Ramsey case.
So this week's soul enriching installment from our ever verbose Chuck Klosterman, who does enjoy the pastime of going around his elbow to get to his wrist, is going to be the cannibal quandary. trying to read in a non-mirrored run here. If we've already proven from this week's episode's intro, I'm having some linguistic issues that are hurdles I'm not clearing in a very even fashion. So this is going to get interesting
real quick.
All right, let's see how many times he repeats the same thing, albeit in a separately, like a slightly different way.
If you're going to insult me, you need to be able to put a coherent sentence together yourself, my friend. Just
do that thing where you call him a silly
I wasn't
sack
talking
of
about
shit.
you. I was talking about Chuck Klosterman. I want to see how many times he can state the same thing, albeit in a slightly different way.
Yeah, get him, daddy. Not my daddy.
Yeah, the Ouroboros is coming, friends.
Ooh.
So the cannibal's quandary is as follows. You are in a plane crash in the Andes Mountains, not the Mint.
I wonder if he's going to specify that it's not the Mint and where the mountains are and what the name of the mountains are.
Well, I'm specifying
how we got there.
Not the Mint.
Oh.
Because it's important to distinguish betwixt the two. One is minty and refreshing. The other one will keep your meals cold for at least 3 months.
Okay.
So, you are in a plane crash in the Andes Mountains. Not unlike those people from the movie Alive, or I suppose like the 1972 Uruguayan rugby team who experienced this situation in reality.
Oh.
As such, you will be forced to consume the human flesh of the people who died on impact. This will be a terrible experience, but it is the only way for you to survive. So you have that out.
Okay.
Fortunately, you did not know any of the victims personally.
Okay.
And I am also a sociopath, so I would not have any connection to them regardless.
Fair.
So,
Dad?
Qua?
Huh?
I got some cigarettes I got to go get. I'll be back. This is incredibly appropriate given last week's episode compared to this one, but we'll catch up as per usual. Would you rather eat a dead baby, or would you rather eat a dead elderly person? Would gender play a role in the selection process? And how much would it bother you if this meat turned out to be delicious?
Okay. Wow. I thought I'd get just knee jerk like I usually do.
I can do knee jerk. Do you want?
Please
some time
fire
to
away,
think?
Michael.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
The baby. I would eat the baby.
But you got to answer the rest of the question.
I know, but
I'm familiar with your proclivities, Michael.
My reasoning behind that is, I mean, there's a whole nother section of meat called veal. So if people seek young cow for its tender flesh, then one can assume that a young child could also be more. I'm not saying that word.
I guess it's kind of like the difference between whether or not you want your meat seasoned or not.
Tender.
Yeah, tender. Thank you. As opposed to an old person, which is probably more leathery or gamey.
Well, here's the quandary, though, Michael. You're getting a lot less meat on the baby than you would be getting from the elderly. So if you are really trying to sustain yourself in the mountain passes of the Andes, you might have, granted the baby may seem a little bit more delectable.
Unless there's 20 babies and 5 old people.
It's a strange
we
flight.
nail them all to a tree.
Sam Jackson popped up in the back and he was like, I'm tired of these monkey flipping babies on this Monday to Friday flight.
Another good TV edit that we would never be able to execute.
Mm-hmm.
But what would you do, Michael, to the question, or Chuck's question, if you found out that it actually tasted good?
I mean, there's plenty of things that I really enjoy the taste of, but I just can't afford to eat.
You can afford to eat that.
Yeah.
Come on over.
I can
come on over, baby.
I can
come.
I can come in my own dye, so I don't need to worry about other contributions to that.
I'm so glad we demonetize this thing.
But no, I mean, like, there's plenty of things like really fancy steaks. I can't afford that. I love the taste of steak. And so, like, I feel like I can live without it. Or I feel like if I can live with that knowledge.
Do you think that...
that, like, oh, yeah, baby tastes good.
Well, I mean, cannibals do say we are very fundamentally similar to pigs, at least in how we're structured. For those who haven't watched Black Mirror, there are other scientific sources to this, insofar as cannibals do refer to human beings as long pork.
Yeah.
That is the term often bandied around in those who do consume human flesh for sustenance. So presumably, if you do enjoy the occasional poke chop, you're going to enjoy a baby back rib.
Are you trying to say, Michael, that babies are the Diet Coke version of Wagyu?
No, because I don't know what Wagyu is.
He's very cultured.
I probably butchered the pronunciation, but isn't it like one of those?
Yeah,
like,
it's beef.
Yeah, it's like super, super expensive beef.
Are you talking about like Kobe beef, or
yeah, or
but Wagyu is a little different.
Oh, okay.
Hmm.
Probably just prepared
But
differently
similar.
or something.
I like
But
how we're dogging
but
on you.
the rarity is what's the important thing.
Yes.
I
And
I like how
mean,
we're ragging on you, but my answer was going to be the same. I think I would have done the baby too.
I mean, I always get ragged on, so
If
it
we
doesn't
would,
bother me.
if we're going from like subjectively, like we don't know these people, like there's no emotional connection. The trauma and the tragedies already happened. I don't know if you guys know this, but I actually really
Want to eat a baby.
saying yes, no, saying like this concept isn't really appropriate, but the Donner Party fascinates me. And I've read a book and I've listened to a couple things about the Donner Party. And once the trauma is like the trauma is going to be there, so like if you have to make these choices, it's kind of like choosing whether or not you want to eat at Burger King or get taquitos from the QT gas station rack. Like I'm gonna go to Burger King. I'm not gonna go to the
I'd
QT
rather die.
taquito rack.
Quick Trip is got some tasty victuals. I'm not
Hey,
going to listen to you.
Yeah, but
You
the Burger King French
probably
fries.
haven't been to, well, I mean that's fair, but you haven't been to a Quick Trip in a while. Like they've upped their game. They actually have like actual ovens there and stuff to make pizza.
I mean,
Oh, we
Sam
know.
lives off it.
Yeah. Oh, I
Sam
believe
doesn't
it.
even grocery shop anymore. She just lives around the corner from a Quick Trip, and that's all she eats. Which
A lot of pretzels.
I completely believe it, 110%.
yeah, but I think I would go the baby route because I think compared to like elderly would be QT and baby would be Burger King or Baby King.
And why do you like the BK so much?
He likes the king. Just appearing on the side of his bed at night.
He got
Elvis.
sold on the fake grill marks.
Exactly. No, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm not gonna go super macabre and like talk about like the quality of their meats like Michael did, but I don't know. Maybe there's less to eat, so maybe it'd be over sooner, and I wouldn't have to think about it again.
So the stigma would get passed pretty quickly.
Yeah, like if it's a whole old person, like I'd have to like, well, you probably have to fold through all the wrinkles to get to the good stuff.
I mean, I'm not saying you got to eat them in a sitting. It's not an all-you-can-eat buffet. Like,
we're not gonna be macabre. Oh, you got to fold past all the like wrinkles to get to the good stuff.
But I'm not trying to gloss over the important part of this question, which is what happens if what happens if I find out that it's delicious. I don't know. I mean, I don't feel like I'm really expecting to make it out of the mountains at this point. So even if it tastes good, then I'm glad I at least have that solace to see me through my last hours. You know, at least I'm not going to be like vomiting up the food that I'm eating or suffering through the food that I'm eating.
You hope.
This is more of an interesting question for you in particular, John, because you have only recently picked up eating meat again.
True.
So it's like trying something that you've never tried before. And then
I will say that pork is a little bit, I like bacon. Like now that I've had bacon for the first time in like 8 years or so, like I love bacon now. But I've had pork sandwiches or I've had like pulled pork sorry. Like
yeah, pulled pork.
I've had things with more like not as bacony porky stuff, and I don't really like pork as much. I'm more of a beef guy.
That's fair. Give him the beef.
Pork is the other white meat. Human is the other white meat.
Allegedly.
Depending
Shane,
on your circumstances.
Take us home here.
Oh, wait. Where do I start?
Uh-oh.
I mean, what wouldn't I eat is the question.
Can I eat both?
Who is able to attempt to subdue me in an attempt to stop me from consuming them? That's the question. Is once the rage starts.
Oh, I'd assume these people are all dead.
I mean, it's not necessarily
already like you didn't have to kill them.
Okay. Well, that eliminates half of the fun.
It does specify dead already. It wasn't like, oh, would you rather have to eat a live baby or a dead elderly?
For people who died on impact, yes.
Okay, yes. If the question was different, if it was you have to hunt these people like most dangerous game, then why would any of us pick the baby? Those elderlies are obviously the first to go.
Elderlies. Listen, I can choke anything. That's on the record.
I'm thinking like John's like hunting through and he's like missing all the babies crawling by him, but he's like seeking the people on the walkers.
Now I'm just saying,
Like,
if I'm
for
going to
it.
start consuming human, and not in a recreational way, as some people do, it's 2021. I don't.
But medicinally,
yeah, no shame.
Medicinal consumption, humans, not recreationally.
Medicinal.
I thought.
You
made it
cannibal.
sound like
I don't
meat.
rock
Yeah,
the herb.
yeah.
No.
Medicinal cannibal. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I was
Like
going
Richard
for something a
Chase.
little more lurid, my friend.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll shut up like I should.
Good boy.
Daddy said no, but yeah, I'm gonna go for freshness factor here. I'm not gonna take the spoiling stuff that's dead on impact. I'm gonna start killing whatever's still alive.
You can have the veal or the jerky. Obviously, you're going for the veal.
I want a little struggle, Granted, they say that trauma spoils the flavor of the meat, but again, if I'm gonna go for my first taste of human, I want to feel like I earned that. I'm not just going to willy-nilly pick through someone's leavings and just go through the detritus of some poor elderly person who was too infirm to survive the crash. I want a survivor in my mouth, my friends, and I've said that so many times.
I just picture you like literally taking a baby and just like ripping part of its flesh off, and there's like 3 other people behind you. Shane, there's like 30 people that are like right behind you are all dead. They even cooked in the plane crash. You could just bite them off, and you're like, I need to hunt. Ugh.
I'm not eating the baby. Again, I want someone who's having a dialogue with me. Why are you doing this? This is so unnecessary.
Please,
I'm not
mister,
dead
bring
yet.
me back to my family. I'll pay you anything you want.
You said you wanted the vegetarian meal.
Okay, so what if you do this and it turns out that it's more than acceptable? It's super
delicious.
Tasty. Like how does that impact?
I'm normally squeamish about meat to begin with. Textures bother me, so
you've talked about that before.
So if I find out that human beings are preferable and I don't have to deal with wobbly bits and gristle like I do in many other meat, if I survive the ordeal, one, I can blame it all on the rain. I have made it there. I was like, listen, this was a traumatic experience for me.
That's all I had.
I needed to survive, and that was my only goal, was to make it off this mountain
and
get back to my loved ones. And I'm here, like a Chuck Palahniuk novel. You don't know how much I've suffered to get here. And unfortunately, one of the byproducts of surviving this ordeal is that I need human meat. I need to consume people like I am a strange man from middle Germany who's meeting people on a dating site to just greedily consume them. And that's what I need. So please offer yourselves a sacrifice.
But only if you bring Star Trek fan fiction to read.
Keep it coming. Come coming. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to have a moral, ethical quandary. I don't think I'm going to have a hang up. It might be if there's a lot of waste I have to get rid of. Yeah, I'm not going to be dealing with intestines and squeezing stuff out so I can cook it. I'm just taking the
meat only.
Yeah, the choice bits. I'm going to get down to the booty meat, as Albert Fish would recommend. They are the tastiest victuals. And
if there are any actual real life cannibals watching this show, please drop a comment below. Tell us what you would rather eat. Would you rather have the baby or the elderly,
or both?
Is it a situational thing? Because I think I stumbled on greatness there. That I think the elderly would be more akin to jerky, because it's all dried out and dehydrated, and the baby would probably be more like veal, as Michael said. So let us know. What do you think?
They would know at this point.
Leave a comment down below.
Let us know. What do you prefer?
Yeah. Give us what are the choice bits for all of you who have gone about.
This is a safe space, okay?
Yes.
The FBI is not going to see your comments if you leave it below. They're not going to track you down. They're not going to arrest you. And even if they tried, they couldn't catch you. You're probably a god, at least in your own head.
I feel seen. So yeah, no, I'm eating everything in sight, as is obvious to look at me. You're not going to be able to pry me away from that thing. I'll just be screaming about my meats as I am airlifted off of the Andes.
My meat.
Oh, it's like that South Park episode where they got stuck in the school for like 45 minutes and they ate half of the people who were in there because we're going to have to eat humans to survive. It's a harrowing experience. Yeah.
I actually canonically like Michael's bit. Just the stretchers screaming, trying to crawl off of the helicopter. My meat.
Oh!
Arby does not have the meats.
I have the meats.
He's just standing on top of an Arby's. Flinging a baby
Nothing beats my meat.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
And leave, Chartreuse alone. She's had a rough night.
Dextrose?
Pepper sprayed at that bar. Well,
gracious.
Thank you all for being here. I'm sure that was just as painful to experience as our eating live human beings would be. But it's always fun and entertaining, and we hope that you feel the same. In fact, if you do, there are myriad ways that you can scratch that itch. We have content just teeming out of our ears. John?
Oh, I was going to say, Michael usually has things to say about this.
He does indeed. What I will say, though, we've had a significant amount of questions about, our future OnlyFans for Michael once the parlor has dropped. But I'm actually starting to receive some requests from interested fans of the podcast about whether or not we plan on taking part in Cameo at some point in the near future. And
he is a frog, and he can be paid to be a frog.
I am a hack and a frog.
We can record personal greetings for your use. If you want to know how decent, or how delectable you would be if we were to eat you, if what place we would start from, send a picture, and we will tell you for $5. For $75?
75 cents, I'll write you a poem.
Indeed. And for $52.35, I will freeze.
And Michael, say your bit. Do your line.
Smash that like button. Ring that bell.
Wow, you have life in you today.
I mean, you sprung it on me. I had to react, and I just start yelling indiscriminately.
That is on the off chance that you're enjoying what you're hearing here and you have not already purchased your Cameo. You can show support in other ways, like what Michael extolled that you do. And, subscribe to this glorious little page. We are generating content constantly. For instance, we are finishing up, or we have just concluded, our fabulous fanfic, The Hogwarts School of Prayer and Miracles, in a glorious 2-part finale that aired previously.
Spontaneously.
So marvelous, and we hope that you enjoyed it as much as we did recording it and mocking it ceaselessly. And we have more fan fiction in the offing, so keep checking in Wednesdays at 10 a.m. Mountain Time here on the Tubes of You, because we will have those headed your way, and they are going to be very inspiring and entertaining and surprising all at once.
Yeah.
Also, Monday morning, your preferred podcast provider app, we have our show, the Disinformed Podcast, that airs every Monday without fail. And you can find us there. And of course, then Friday mornings, you'll find us back here on the Tubes of You at 10 a.m. Mountain Time for more Disinformed After Dark. So if you haven't had enough and you're hungry for more,
don't stop till you get enough.
We'll crack open the dead baby cupboard and bring you more of my meats.
Ooh-wee.
And I think that is going to wrap up in a tasty little humanish gyro for this stirring installment. So for Disinformed After Dark this week, we miss you, Courtney.
Miss you.
I am Kenton Eldorado.
I am Timothy Lone Cactus.
Shark mouth.
And I'm Robert Greer and nothing else.
a really weird name.
It was a weird street
about
that I lived on.
Queso pollo.
Oh, I thought you were going to end it right there.
Oh, yeah. I thought that was it. Is this a fade out?
Can we fade out on this?
Is this a fade out?
From your own chicken lips, Michael.
Hello?
To tell everybody that they should probably remember, on the off chance that they have forgotten, you might want to live, laugh, and lie.